This is Welding and Fabrication Department. Yeah, you are welcome. By the names, I'm called Mr. Dogu Peter. I'm a teacher in Welding and Fabrication at Shea Community Polytechnic. Welding is just to fabricate the other articles or to make something like doors, to make something like windows. Welding itself is joining metals, two metals together by using arc welding. We do it practically but not theoretically. We only bring the student to the workshop and then we introduce them tools, other things which they can use for welding. When you come to the workshop, you have to clean your place. You clean the working place. You cannot work in a place which is very dirty. And then secondly, you must tighten this thing very well, the vise. You cannot leave them loose like that. How will you grab? How will it grip you or what? It will be moving like this. How will you cut? And then thirdly, you must use the what? This to preserve your eyes. Because without this, if you weld, your eyes will be affected. Those are the main rules you must use in the welding fabrications. You must also dress yourself. For example, you are not supposed to work here when you don't dress yourself very well. And you must put on hard boots. When the metal falls on your leg, it cannot affect you. Those are very important ones. And you must also wear this, the helmet. It is very important. I think those are the main ones which I have mentioned. And the whole of these things here, this one we call it a bench. Because of this vise, we mount this vise on it. It is not a table, it is a bench. Then after safety rules, these ones are the measurement tools, which they are supposed to learn how to read, take the measurement of what they are going to do. Like this one is steel rules. We have the hacksaws. Before using the hacksaws, they must take the measurement first and then they cut to pieces using this hacksaw. And then after the hacksawing, when there is some problem, some errors there, sometimes they can also use the files to level the edges of their metals which they are going to join. They can use the files. This is what we call files. And then we have here, we give them also spanners for tightening this. Before they begin any work, they should also tighten these tools here, the vise, for their use, using the spanners here. And then, when they are taking the measurement, they are supposed to use even the tri-squares. This one here. This tri-square is of 45 degrees and 90 degrees. They have to use it for marking out. And then after marking out their work they want to join, now we give them the welding transformer. The welding transformer. That is when they are now going to join their work, the metals, together with the arc welding. They use this transformer here. Then, after when they are now using this, they are now joining the metals, they can also use this shield. According to the safety, you must use this one here when you are welding. Welding shield to protect the eyes. Because it is dangerous when you weld without. This is what we call welding shield. And then we have what we call hammers. After joining the metal, they have to knock the parts which they have welded. There's something which they weld. When they weld, you must knock it off, so that you see the really joints, where you have really joints. So they use the hammer. Either they can use this one for knocking that part also. This is chisels. But mostly chisel also we use it for cutting metals. And then we have, after welding, you know, sometimes after welding you heat the welding up to maybe to a certain level. So to smoothen it, you have to use the grinder. You grind the level so that it comes to normal. For example, the other work which they have done there, they have to use the grinder for grinding those parts. And then also with this, if you want to separate the metals, also you can use the cutting disc on this, and then you also cut. So most of these tools are here. And then here we have the drilling bits, drill bits. This is for accommodating the holes in your workpiece. And then we have these ones also, they are very important. The tri-square there, I have already talked about them. We have different types of tri-squares. And then we have the magallos. Also, it helps them when they are tightening. Also, it can help them to tighten the nuts on the vices when the spanner is not there. It is very important for them to use this. And then we have different types of files here. We have the round files, which can also, when you have drilled the hole, the small holes, maybe you want to fix something which is larger. When that part is very narrow, then you can open using the round one to enlarge the what. And then we have this. If you want to drill the holes in the metals, you have to center punch this, where this one is going to drill that part there. Without center punching, this one cannot go direct to that part you are going to drill. So it is very important, this one here, center punch. We have also, we call it a chemicals. It is not a tools. This is a welding rods, which joints, when you weld the joints, it gets sticky at the joints. So it is coated. There is a part which is metallic, there is a part which is chemicals. So it is coated with that one. When you weld it, it grips the wood very well. And then we have the other machine there. That one is for power. That one is for power. When it is not there, welding cannot even take place, because that is the source of the power which we use. And also we have our generator there. When the power is not there, we can use the generator for welding and fabrication here. And the whole of these things here, this one we call it a bench. And we have different sizes of vices here, which we can use them also during our work here. We are going to do some project of making the door for the kitchen. Now we have all these tools we shall use for making those things. Okay? Yes. This is now what you are going to. You are going to follow this procedure. The process are here. And the dimensions. So there we have vices which you will use for clamping those things, and then you cut. We have those tools, hacksaw there. We have different types of tools there which you will use. Okay? So you know all of them. For example, this one is the grinder. After welding the joints of your work there, you will level using this grinder so that your work looks smooth. before painting it. These are the tools. I wanted you to know them. And also this one is a cutting disc, which you will also use when you are cutting. You can also use it for cutting. And then this is the hacksaw I was talking about. You know all these tools. And then later on, when you have cut your work properly now, you want to join, that's when you will use the what? The welding transformer for the job. That's when you will begin joining those metals. And then the materials, we have the angle bars for the frame. We have hollow sections, 25 by 40 for the shutters. We have the flat bar there for separating this thing, because you can see here. You can see this gap here. So without you cannot leave it like that. You need to use that flat for covering it here. And then also we shall use the hinges for joining this on the frames, so that they are together. We are going to use 4 hinges. The other side 2, the other side 2. So I think most of those I have explained to you, you have understood very well now. So with a lot of tools which I have given you, you know all those things. And I will also be with you full time. Whenever you are messing, I must show you what you can do.